Uh, there are some people who are politicians who are in the Senate because they found that they are retired governors, past governors, and so that all other governors are going up to the Senate. That's why they're in the Senate. It is not because they have any valuable thing to contribute to development of this country. Some others have found that after becoming governor for 8 years, it's now hard to come by those excess funds
and privileges
and respect and all those things that you get in the society. And it's like, but if you step into the Senate, you can get a fraction of it. You know, who knows? You might even be Senate president one of these days, and it will look like you're governor again.
At least you could be there for a lifetime.
Exactly. So you don't have to do elections all the time, or even when you do elections, you are guaranteed to come back. So what's the sweat? So I asked one guy one time, I said, why is he running for Senate? He said his business has not been doing well.
And it needs a shot in the arm.
I said, oh, your business has been saying, this oil and gas thing, but he has some savings, and I've devoted my time to behavioral study, political study, seeing people, relating with them, and understanding why they do the things they do. People are shouting, Lagos is so crowded, Lagos is so... Lagos is the fall net for a lot of politicians. So you are in a state, let's say, use a state, Ekiti. You're in the opposition, and then the other team wins. When they win, the state is not comfortable for you. So what do? You look for the best place to stay. You've made some money. You rent a house in VGC, Parkview, Banana, depending on how much you stole. How much you... Sorry. I take that back. Depending on how much you made. And so you...
And or...
Okay, so you are rubbing it in now, right? Okay. And on, of course. And then you now think of, should I see... I don't have so much relevance in that state anymore. So let me relocate my family. So you relocate them to Lagos, get them a very comfortable place, give them 2 drivers. You get one for yourself, 3 drivers. You have a big queue that the drivers can stay, apply to the police to give you 2 policemen, 1 in the house, 1 with you. And some of the monies that you acquired while you were in government can still sustain you till the next election. So when the next election comes, you dabble into it again. If you succeed, you relocate the family back to, or then keep your Lagos house, and then it becomes your getaway place.
Country home.
A country home, exactly. Or you then... You hit it big to the point maybe you're a deputy governor, or you're the speaker, or you're a commissioner, and then you become relevant again in the state, and then you begin to move back. But Lagos is the safe home or safe house. Yes, safe house. If you don't win any election in your state and you're beginning to have issues with the current government, you just relocate to Lagos. But if you then have powerful people who were in your state before and were governing, and then they become ministers, you move to Abuja and stay there. So the reason people do a lot of things differ. Somebody is thinking of coming to Lagos now. You're going to be competing with those people, the Yahoo boys, the politicians, the fraudsters, the people who manage funds for politicians. Oh yes, those people who manage funds for politicians, they're the ones that drive up the cost of houses and everything. So you put your house for 2 million. An agent comes to you and says, sir, we can get you 10 for this house. The man is like, no, I put it for 2 million. Say, okay, sir, we'll give you your 2 million. We'll take the whole place for 4 years. We'll manage it for you. And then they jack up the place for 4 million that you were asking for 2 million. And they get it. They advertise and they get it, and you're actually seeing it like. Meanwhile, you still have about like 3 other properties that you have not put to let. You will call the guy managing your properties. Are you guys okay?
What's going on?
Are you insane? That house that you are renting for 2 million, do you know the one that is not even as good as this one was taken for 4 million? They jack it up. Guess who gets to rent it? Some politician who wants to give his girlfriend a good apartment so that he can sneak into that kind of apartment and have a good time. He will rent it without thinking of anything. He say, how much is it? Say 5 million. Say, take 2 years. 2 years out of his 4 years. He's good. And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. For instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, and rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time, and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That would be interesting.
Let's find the chat, mate. I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. I'll get to it. So he says, He says, Ali. Yeah, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract, or they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War
chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that. Sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internally generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
So Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say get US or China support because of their businesses in your country. They would support whoever. You had the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students,
NANS,
Market Women,
NURTW,
Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is when you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. Comment. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they would then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. Then they somebody did it where he said, he was supposed to be... I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I'm supporting, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all parties chairmen. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him and say, you want to be chairman? We'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership. See, when it comes to politics, so, and now to answer your question correctly, why have I not gone into politics? I was offered Minister of State during Obasanjo's time, and I was supposed to go and do the rounds to get, so that by the time I go to the assembly, I can, which was what affected Rufai as well. He was listed as minister.
Yeah.
But he said he was not going to do what he was supposed to do. There's some people, as soon as you mention that they would become something, they put the machinery in action to go talk to the people who will screen them.
Certainly.
Yeah. So that's why you hear sometimes some people get into the hallowed chambers and they say, take a bow. And then some come and they drill them. This is not accusing anybody of anything, but it is what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see some people, you're like, this man should be asked questions. He has cases waiting in this. Why is he not being asked questions? Why was he not asked? Why this? Why was he not asked? Ajaokuta still question. Why was it? But then, and I decided as a no, but and I know if I get public office in the first week, Mama sack me. Mama said they will sack me. They will sack me.